Hi guys, this is Julia from Julia Isabel Art, and in this video I'm going to be painting an apple, and I'm going to do what I usually do, just go over my supplies and briefly kind of provide an overview of what I did for this painting, and then just put some music on and just let it play. So for my supplies, I'm using Schmincke masking fluid, which you just saw, Holbein Artists Watercolors in tubes, round paint brushes. I use a silver black velvet and the Princeton Heritage for the most part. And then I also had my Isabey brush, but I didn't use that as much. And then I have Arches 140-pound watercolor paper, my rag, and 2 jars of water, one for dirty water and one for clean water. So my reference, and I had a reference photo that you saw at the beginning, and I took that from unsplash.com, and it is royalty free, just so you know. So as you saw before, I put masking fluid little dots down, because you know how apples have like little white, they're not white, but they're lighter dots. You can see in the reference photo. You can also accomplish this by creating little blooms, but that is a little bit more advanced, and at some point I should do a video doing something like that because it is a good skill to have. But I just did masking fluid, pretty basic. I have a video where I paint a beach and I kind of go over what masking fluid is, so you can check that out if you're wondering. But basically, it's this liquid latex that preserves the white of the paper. You put it down, you wait for it to dry, then you put your paint over it, you wait for your paint to dry, and then you rub it off, and the paper is white underneath. So I'm just doing mostly wet on wet here, but I do some wet on dry, like in that where that bite is. I do wet on dry to just create some definition. And then just basic, you know, the third layer of the apple I do wet on dry, but everything else is wet on wet. And I always say this in every video, but your paper is really important. If you're not using cotton paper, and even it depends on what cotton paper you use too, because even some cotton papers don't handle layers very well, so it's just important that you know your supplies. But Arches is amazing. I love it. It's my favorite paper, but there's some others, like I like I'm going to say this wrong, but Hahnemühle? I don't know, it's German. I apologize to any Germans. And then Fabriano Artistico I also like. But Arches is my favorite, and I use that most often. So, anyway, oh, and one thing about colors, don't worry so much about the specific colors I'm using. Just pick ones that are similar, that look similar. And even if you see a color that I don't see, we all see color differently, which is pretty cool. So you might see a color in there that I didn't really see or find important. So just go with your gut on the color thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!